everyone, this is Erin with Five Parks Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. Today's class is being filmed in beautiful Marble, Colorado, and behind me is the Crystal River. I hope you enjoy the sounds of the river as we move through this class. If you want to enhance your class with music, if you like music in the background, don't forget to check out my Spotify playlists. You can go to fiveparksyoga.com/music. Thank you to all my subscribers and my Patreon supporters. Thanks to you, I'm using a new microphone today. I hope it is better than the last class I filmed with all the crackles in the background. So we're testing it out. Just as a reminder, we have recently released 30-day challenges on my channel. So go ahead and check those out, fiveparksyoga.com/challenges. So let's get started today. Today's class is going to focus a lot on planks. Now with planks, if you have any issues with anything in your body, your wrists, hands, knees, low back, take modifications. And one of the best modifications if you're dealing with low back issues are knees to the floor, or just, you're still building strength. If you have wrist issues, you can try to go on your fists instead of the flats of your palms. So, check those out. The weather here, it's spring in Colorado, so it's gonna be hot and cold at the same time. So we're gonna probably make some adjustments throughout this class. So go ahead and come into a seated position. We'll just take some neck rolls, some wrist rolls for in preparation for planks. So lengthen through the crown of your head, close your eyes, roll your shoulders up by your ears and then down toward your mat. Rest your hands either on your knees, face up, face down, or in your lap. Breathe in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. As you lengthen your inhales and your exhales, start to notice the sound of your breath moving into Ujjayi pranayama. Gently constricting the back of your throat so your breath is audible. On your next breath in, lengthen once again through the crown of your head, reaching up, and then exhale, moving into some neck rolls. So either direction, half or full neck rolls, just releasing tension in your neck and shoulders and your upper back. If you're doing full neck rolls, we're gonna take one more in this direction. You can pause and then reverse directions. If you're doing half neck rolls, just continue to rock your head side to side. And last one in this direction. All right, go ahead and interlace your fingers, flip the palms of your hands, and press them forward. Getting a nice stretch here in your wrists and your upper back, keeping your spine nice and long and straight. And then bring your hands back. Your fingers are still interlaced, and just take a couple of rolls of your wrists, of your hands, in one direction, switch directions, just warming up the wrists. We'll take one more here. Shake your hands out, getting some blood flow into your fingers, your wrists, your forearms, and then make your way to a tabletop position. We're going to continue to warm up the wrists here. So these are very gentle movements. Don't push them too hard, but spread your fingers nice and wide, and then just rock your weight forward so you're getting a stretch in your forearms. And you'll just bring your Shoulders back over your wrists, rock your weight forward again, shoulders past your wrists. And then just one more time. Bring the tops of your hands flat to the floor. And again, this is very gentle, so don't dump a lot of weight into your hands. You just want to stretch the tops of your hands, your wrists, forearms. And this time you're just going to rock backward a little bit. Gentle rock backward. Bring your shoulders back over your wrists. Again, not a lot of weight, so don't put all of your weight into your hands because these are fragile bones in your body. One more. All right, and last but not least, take your hands back to your mat and then point your fingers toward the edges of your mat, and then you're just gonna rock back and forth, or side to side, side to side. All right, come back to a tabletop position. Let's take 3 cat-cows. Inhaling, dropping your belly, and then exhaling, rounding your spine. So we're just warming up the front and back side of our body. Moving with your breath. And then come back to a tabletop position. Let's move into spinal balance, warming up the core. Extend your right arm forward, your left leg back. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Tabletop. Switch sides. Bring your left arm forward and your right leg back. Spinal balance. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Back to tabletop. Tuck all 10 toes under. Keep your wrists right underneath your shoulders and bring your knees up off of your mat to hover. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to tabletop. Bring the tops of your feet back to the floor. And then just sit your hips back to your heels. Bring your hands next to your feet. And then just take a gentle little lift of your knees up off of your mat to stretch the fronts of your legs, your ankles, and the tops of your feet. All right, make your way all the way to downward facing dog. So come through tabletop, tuck your toes under again, lift your hips, release your heels down to your mat. Begin to pedal your legs, bending and straightening one leg at a time. Release both heels down toward your mat and take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Lift both of your heels high. Begin to roll your spine all the way to a high plank position. Adjust your hands if you need to so that your shoulders come over your wrists. And then press back, downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift your heels, roll your spine. High plank, looking down at the ground. Your head is in line with your spine. Modification, knees to the floor. Press back, downward facing dog. Last time, lift your heels high. Roll forward. High plank pose, and hold, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Breathe in, cobra pose, peeling your chest up off the floor, lifting through the crown of your head. Breathe out and release. Again, lift up to cobra, release. Last time, lift up and release. From here, just press your way back to an extended child's pose, bringing your knees wide, big toes to touch, hips to heels. Press your forehead down onto the floor. Breathe in And out. Keep your right arm extended. Slide your left arm underneath your right to get a stretch to the back of your left shoulder. Rest your left ear down on your mat. Switch sides. Extend your left arm long. Slide your right arm underneath your left. Take your shoulder down and then rest your right ear on your mat. Breathe in and out. Extend both arms long once again and then press back up to downward facing dog. One big breath here in downward facing dog. And then walk your feet to your hands and come into ragdoll position. So take a nice generous bend in your legs, rest your torso on your thighs, take opposite hand to opposite elbow, and then just let your head dangle. And start to gently sway side to side. Be bending and straightening one leg at a time. Make your way back to center. Release your hands down toward your mat. And then roll your way up to a stand. Beginning to slowly straighten your legs as you come up. And then make your way to mountain pose. Find a nice solid foundation with your feet, spreading your toes nice and wide, palms face out, fingers face down. Take one big shoulder roll here. And then on your next inhale, come up to tall mountain pose, reaching your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, breathe in for chest expansion, reaching your fists down toward the floor, lifting your chin up, maybe looking up toward the sky or the ceiling, and then come into standing forward fold with chest expansion. So in this posture, we're working toward straighter legs, so you get a nice stretch in your hamstrings, and of course you're getting a wonderful stretch in your shoulders. Try to press the palms of your hands toward one another. And then breathe in, halfway lift, monkey pose. Come up to a nice flat back, head in line with your spine, looking down at the floor. And then exhale, standing forward fold. Plant your hands on your mat, step back to high plank pose. Hold high plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight shift forward, shoulders coming just past your wrists. Chaturanga, making your way halfway down, flipping over to the tops of your feet, pressing up to upward facing dog, and make your way back to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up, open your hip, bend your leg. Inhale, straighten your leg, level your hips, bring your knee to your right elbow. Pause. Three-legged dog. Bring your right knee to your nose, round your spine. Pause. Three-legged dog. Bring your right knee to your left elbow. Pause. Three-legged dog. Lift your right leg straight up and then step your right foot between your hands. Lower your back knee down onto the floor. Lift your arms up overhead. Connect the palms of your hands, cross your thumbs, bring your thumbs to the back of your head. Lift your chin, lift your elbows up. Little mini back bend here. And then bring your hands back to the earth. Half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. So stretching the back of your right leg, bringing your forehead towards your knee. And then make your way all the way to standing split. So tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up off the floor, step onto your right foot, lower the top of your head down toward your mat and look back toward the back of your mat, keeping your hips level. Lift your left heel a little bit higher. And then big step back so you're in low lunge. This time you keep your back knee up off the floor. Breathe in, lift your arms up overhead. Crescent lunge pose. Breathe out, warrior two. Hold here. One more breath here. All right, on your next breath in, reverse warrior. Slide your left hand down your left leg, reach up and over, stretching your right side, and then just circle your arms all the way back down to your mat. Keep your left hand on the floor and bring your right foot to meet your left. Side plank. Hold here. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that series of postures on the other side. Lift your left leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your left knee and touch your left elbow and hold. Three-legged dog. Bring your left knee to your nose, round your spine and hold. Three-legged dog. Bring your left knee to your right elbow and hold. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Lower your right knee to the floor. Lift both arms up overhead. Connect the palms of your hands, opposite cross of your thumbs. Bring your thumbs to the back of your head. Lift your elbows, lift your chin, lift your gaze. Little mini back bend here. And release, half splits pose. Begin to straighten through your left leg. Maybe bringing your forehead toward your shin or your knee. And then one big movement to standing splits. So bring all of your weight onto your left foot, tuck your right toes under, lift your knee, step forward, standing splits. Once you're balanced on your left foot, release the top of your head toward the floor and look back toward the back of your mat. Keep your hips level. Lift your right heel higher. Big step back, low lunge. Once you have your balance in your low lunge, lift your arms up overhead, crescent lunge, breathe in, and warrior two, breathe out. Open your shoulders and your hips to the side, arms parallel to the earth. Exhale here. Reverse warrior. So side bend, slide your right hand down your right leg. Exhale, circle your arms down to your mat. Keep your right hand on the floor. Step your left foot to meet your right. Side plank. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Breathe out. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out. Downward facing dog. All right, like we did at the beginning of class, lift both heels up, kind of ripple your way forward. So you're in a high plank position. This time in high plank, we're just gonna take some knee taps. So right knee, left knee. If your both knees are on the floor as a modification, just hold it there. Just keep pedaling your legs. Come back to high plank. Press back, downward facing dog. Lift your heels. Roll, ripple forward. Hold high plank. This time we're going to take toe taps. So you're just going to take either leg first. I'm going to start with my right. Tap to the right. Tap to the left. And keep going. If your knees are on the ground, just hold it. You're building strength in your shoulders and your core. Come back to high plank. Press back, downward facing dog. One more time. Lift your heels high. Ripple roll forward. High plank pose. Hold. And back to downward facing dog. Okay, let's take a break for the wrists and the shoulders. So just come down to Embryo Pose. This time your knees and feet will stay together. You're gonna bring your hips to your heels and then just bring your arms alongside your body, palms face up. So the tops of your hands are flat to the floor. And in this position, you can just wiggle your fingers, maybe make some fists and release. So you're just kind of getting all the tension out of your wrists. Planks can be really hard on the wrists, so we want to take care of our wrists. All right, reach your arms forward in preparation for downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips high. Take a deep breath in, lift your right leg up. Big step forward, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, side plank. Right arm lifts. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right to the other side. Lift your left leg up. Step forward, low lunge. Crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior two. Open up. Reverse warrior. Low lunge. Big breath in, side plank, left arm lifts. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift forward, high plank, and make your way to forearm plank. So bring your forearms down to the earth. Again, modification, lower your knees to your mat. Come back up to high plank. Press back, downward facing dog. Let's take one more breath in downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. Step forward, low lunge. Crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. And half moon pose. So balancing on your right leg, lift your left leg up. Now make your way to standing splits. So you're gonna level your hips, keep your left leg lifted. Big step back, low lunge, side plank, right foot meets left, right arm lifts, plank pose, forearm plank, and hold. Okay, this time we're gonna just rock our hips side to side. So right hip, left hip. Keep going. Last one on each side. Press back up, high plank, press back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step forward, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior. And we're moving to half moon. So balance on your left leg. Lift your right leg up. Open your hips to the side. Lift your right arm up. Standing splits. So bring your right hand down, keep your right leg lifted, level your hips. So your two hips are in one line. Lift your heel higher. Step way back, low lunge. Keep your right hand planted, side plank. Lift your left arm up. High plank, both hands to your mat. Forearm plank, bring both forearms down. Hold here. All right, we're gonna move into forearm side plank. So bring your left forearm parallel to the front of your mat. Your left shoulder is right over your left elbow. You can stack or stagger your feet. Lift your right arm up. Reach your right arm forward. And then we're gonna take a couple crunches. So right elbow, right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back, forearm plank. Bring your right forearm parallel to the front of your mat. Roll to the right. Stack or stagger your feet. Bring your left arm forward. And crunch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forearm plank, high plank, down dog. A journey through plank. It's not my favorite pose, but it is good for core strength and whole body. It's one of the best whole body strengtheners that you can take. Exhale here. Look forward to the front of your mat. Step, walk, or float forward and come into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, side moon. Right arm slides down your right leg, left arm up and over. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, side moon. Inhale, tall mountain. Cactus your arms, open your chest, lift your chin. Tall mountain, rise up, reach up. Standing forward fold. All the way forward. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Plant your hands on your mat. Step back, high plank. And hold. Okay, this is our last big plank push. So make any modifications you need. Take care of your body. If you feel okay, nothing is hurting. Other than the fact that it's hard, just continue to hold it. So just know you're strengthening your entire body here. If you're shaking, that's good. You're building strength. You're building mental discipline. Tighten up your quads. Tighten up your core. Don't let your belly sag. Don't want to compromise your low back. I'm shaking a lot. All right, so lower down onto your belly. You earned it. Take your right hand, your right arm to the right, palm face down, roll to the right. Bring your left leg up and over. So this is going to be a nice stretch for your shoulder, your chest, and then rest your ear down on your mat. And make your way back onto your belly, and let's switch sides. So bring your right arm, right hand back underneath your right shoulder, left arm to the left, roll to the left. Bring your leg up and over, plant your foot on the floor, rest your ear on your mat. Feel the stretch in your shoulder, your chest. Relax your hand and your wrist. Come all the way back to center. Pine cones all over me. It's not the worst problem to have. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, a little core push before pigeon. The pigeon will be your reward. I've got pine needles all over. So lift your right leg up. Right knee, right elbow. This is kind of where we started. Right leg high. This time, right knee to your nose. Right leg high, three-legged dog. Right knee, left elbow. Right elbow. And then set your shin down. All right, we've arrived at pigeon. So stretch up, lengthen, and release. Hold here. Come back up onto your hands, tuck your left toes under, three-legged dog, lift your back knee, right leg high, open your hip, bend your leg, maybe take wild thing. You want a little back bend, heart opener, reach up, reach back, look back, and back to down dog. Working toward pigeon on the other side. So lift your left leg high, left knee, left elbow. Lift your left leg high, left knee, nose. Left leg high, left knee, right elbow. Left knee, left elbow. Set your shin down on the floor. Here we are in pigeon. Stretch up, lift up, breathe in, look up, and release. Come back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes under, lift your knee, three-legged dog. Open your hip, bend your leg. Or take wild thing. Flip over gently. Release your foot to the floor. Reach up or back. Lift your hips, open your chest, open your heart. And downward facing dog. All right, from this downward facing dog, lower to your knees, cross your ankles. Make your way into seated staff pose. So extend both legs out in front of you. Bring your hands to your mat, right next to your hips. Point all 10 toes up. Engage through your quads. Nice tall spine. See if you can get your shoulders directly over your hips, on top of your head, right in line with your spine. So if you were looking at yourself from a side view, you'd be in a 90-degree angle. What seems like a simple pose at first can be pretty challenging, keeping everything engaged. If this doesn't work for the bottoms of your legs, you can always bend your legs, just try to keep a straight spine. Okay, we are preparing for reverse plank. One more plank. This is a good one. So, alternative to reverse plank is reverse tabletop. I'm going to take you to reverse plank first, and then I'll talk about tabletop. So, move your hands a little bit further back. Point your toes down toward your mat. When you press up, I want your shoulders right over your wrists. So just lift up. Okay, reverse tabletop. Your feet are right under your knees when you press up. So feet flat to the floor for reverse tabletop. Or reverse plank. Release from wherever you are. Your legs are bent, straighten them. So we're going to take seated forward fold. Again, your knees can be bent if that is what's needed, as long as you have integrity in your spine. So lift your arms up overhead. You're going to reach toward your feet. Walk your hands down your mat. Fold forward here. Release from forward fold. Bend your legs, feet flat to the floor. Reach your arms forward, lower down onto your back. Take bridge pose, so walk your feet in. Press all of your weight into the soles of your feet. Spread your fingers wide and lift your hips up. Bridge pose. Release. Gentle hug of your knees to your chest. Release both knees to the right for a supine twist. Gaze to the left. Back to center and switch sides. Bring both knees to the left. Gaze to the right. Back to center. One last squeeze of your knees or any other movements that you'd like to take here before we make our way to Shavasana, which will be our final posture of class. And when you're ready, extend your legs long on your mat, let your feet fall open. Rest your arms alongside your body, palms face up. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. And scan your body, working your way from your toes all the way to the crown of your head, releasing any tension that you're holding on to, making any like wiggles or movements that feel good. Take an extra moment when you get to your face to relax your jaw, relax your forehead. Feel the entire weight of your head resting on your mat, no tension in your neck. Really take this time to let your body and your mind relax. Listen to the sound of the river. If you have the time, please continue to enjoy your Shavasana. If not, today as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. From my heart to each and every one of yours, namaste.